Hey there everyone, welcome back. I am Bharat. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. Today we are gonna dive into challenges of lazy loading in Spark or PySpark. So without any further delays, let's get started. So I have my Jupyter lab opened here. I have some piece of script or code that does something. So I'll explain about that in a bit while. Now, I consider that you have some experience over Spark, some basic understanding, and this is kind of a deep dive on understanding challenges with lazy loading in Spark. Now, coming to the explanation of what the script does. So, it reads an employee's CSV data that you can see here. It has around 50 records, and it tries to map over this data and stores each employee data into a JSON file under this folder structure of employees data and then the employee ID, and under that a random GUID is generated for the file name and is stored in a JSON file. Now in a real-time scenario, probably you will write it into some cloud storages like S3. Now here, just for this example, I am writing it to the folder structure here. So it will be creating a folder here called employees data, and then for each employee ID, it will create a folder, and under it, it'll with a random GUID generated, it will create a JSON file. Now let's run these cells one by one. Let's create a Spark session, and then let's try to read the CSV data into this data frame. And let's try to print schema. So you can see there's employee ID, first name, and all the other details. Let's try to show what's within it. You can see the top 20 rows. Now let's execute this cell which has the method to store employee data. Now after I run this particular cell, you see it's going through a transformation and it's mapping through these records and calling this method, and it passes the record. So when you call map, it iterates through each record, and here if you observe, I am appending it with as dit for each row. This is because what you would get here is a data frame row, and in order for you to create a new key, you will have to convert it to dictionary. So using this inbuilt method for a row, I'm converting it to dictionary, and I'm able to write the new or able to create a new key on that particular dictionary. Now let's run the cell again and see if something's created here. So you can see even after running this particular cell, nothing is created. So this is the lazy evaluation of Spark. These are called transformations. The map, or there are so many transformations. Now, this alone will not invoke or it will not load the data. You need an action to load it. So let's try to run the next cell and see what happens. You can see a data frame is actually created. Now here we got RDD, and then we are converting it back to data frame. Now let's go and see what happened within this employees data. You see there's just one folder created, that is and there's a JSON file created too, but it kind of seems odd that there's just one file. This is because this 2df, whatever we are doing here, is creating a job within it. Like it calls something called sample. So when it is converting to RDD, or converting the RDD to data frame, internally it calls a sampling. That is, it takes random record and it converts that RDD to data frame. So that's what is happening here. Now let's try doing a count. Now this is a full-fledged action. Once we run this and let's refresh this, you can see there are actually 50 folders created here. and each folder contains the JSON file. Now let's go back and look at the first employee folder that was created. You see there are two files here. One which was created when we called 2df and the other which was created when we called count. Now let's go one step back and go to any of these folders and try to run this count again and see what happens. Let's refresh this. You see another file is created. Let's run this cell again and refresh. You can see another file is created. Now the same would have happened for other folders too. It created thrice because I called the count thrice. For 198 which was sampled earlier, there were 4 files created, one with 2df and 3 more with count. Now what is happening here is, because of this lazy evaluation, whenever there is an action called, this transformation gets invoked again and again. Now that is causing the issue here, and it's since it's making a call to this transformation each time we have an action triggered, it's creating these files again and again. Now this is the challenge with lazy loading, so you'll have to be very careful and try to plan your transformations and actions properly. Okay, so this is something that is not acceptable in a real-time scenario, because uh, you will end up storing a lot of obsolete or unwanted files and the cost of your storage gets increased. So you will have to make sure that there's just one updated file, and you don't have those unwanted old files. So I have a piece of code that maps through each file and deletes the old one and keeps only the existing one. So let's run this particular cell. So since this has an action, this gets invoked, and you can see there's just one file remaining. Now what happens when we call this action is, there are two transformations here. So when we invoke this action, first this transformation gets executed, that is a new file gets created here, and then there will be two files, and once that is done, there is this method invoked, which deletes the older files and keeps the existing one. So each time you call this again, you see there will be a change here. So that previous file along with the new file created here, and with the next transformation, that old file gets deleted and the current file is kept as is. Now this is about the challenges with lazy loading in Spark or PySpark. In the upcoming video, I'll show you how to overcome this challenge. So if you like this video, please hit on the like button, share it with your friends, and do put your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I look forward to meet you guys in the upcoming video.